Hi, my name is Samantha Miller, and I'm in your Wednesday night class, and I'm now presenting my weekly synthesis. I looked through the syllabus and did not indicate that we had to read anything for this synthesis, so I'm just going to focus on the concepts we learned last week in class. So last week we focused a lot on the chaos theory, and the chaos theory basically states that through disorder, through chaos, through the dysfunction of the universe, there comes order, there comes rules, there comes structure. And this was kind of groundbreaking and shocking to the scientific community, scientists like Isaac Newton, because scientists believe that there's order in the universe and that everything's explicable, that you can explain every minute detail of the ins and outs of the universe. So this was very upsetting and very different from anything that they ever, discovered or ever talked about in the past. Also, we talked a lot about the butterfly effect, which is actually very similar, and they're both intertwined with one another. And the butterfly effect is basically used, I think, a lot for weather. Meteorologists used it, but now in pop culture, it's kind of a term that people use, and it basically means that one small change, anything different can turn into this huge reaction. Something small can become something big ultimately. And a good example of this would be like a butterfly flapping its wings in Texas, but which causes a hurricane in Florida. So something so tiny you think wouldn't mean anything in the universe actually turns into something so huge as a hurricane that can completely decimate a state, which hurricanes have the power to do. We also talked a lot about different elements that affect a child's learning within the school. And this is something that I fully believe. The way a child learns is not just your basic IQ that's going to make you a good student. There are so many factors that are involved in this. And a lot of them are outside factors that you can't even, it's something that is changeable. For a lot of children, it isn't, which is their parents' education level, the income of their house, how many parents they have. Sometimes they only have a one-parent household. Sometimes it's two. There's so many different factors that actually contribute to the success of a child academically. And this is something that I see because I've been substitute teaching, and I see this a lot. I see some kids in special needs classes that actually should not be in special needs class. Actually, I'm working with a class this week that I see some of these kids, and they learn pretty quickly, but you hear their stories. Their mother, had 10 or 11 kids. Their father's not in the picture. They, you could tell that they're living in poverty. And a lot of this affects where kids are even placed in classes. Some, like I said, some are even put into special needs classes because of their situation, not their IQ. And it's very unsettling because, they deserve to be in different places, but they cannot help where they were born, or how their parents treated them, or how dedicated, or how much of an advocate their parents are for them. And we also did an activity that correlated with this, where we put on one side the outside and inside factors, and it's so monumental into a child's learning and how they process information, and depression could even cause all kinds of cognitive disabilities in a child. And it seems that, situation is a huge thing. So these are the things that we reviewed last week in class. We talked, like I said, the chaos, the butterfly effect. We talked about a few other things, and the different elements that cause a child to be whether a successful student or to be a poor student. And that's all. And I'll see you not next week, but the week after. Thank you.